You're watching Soleful Discussions.
All right, so hi, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How did you and I meet today?
Oh, so I was just like sitting down by the tree.
Absolutely.
And I was just reading a book. I was actually about to leave.
Oh.
And then you asked me if you could ask me a couple of questions for your YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember the topics we're going to cover today? I gave you 3 topics.
You gave me 3 topics. One of them was about mental health.
Mental health, yeah.
And the other was about women, right?
Women's opinions.
Women's opinions about mental health. And I don't remember the others.
It's okay. So your thoughts about the subject of feet, mental health, reflexology.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Feet,
Yeah.
mental health, reflex.
Absolutely.
Feet, like literal feet?
Feet, absolutely.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. When you hear the word feet, what's the first thing that goes to your mind? What do you think about first?
I think of like weird fetishes.
Weird fetishes?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
cool.
do.
And that's your opinion, so cool. I'm actually going to ask you a few questions about feet today. You just answer the questions however you want.
Yeah.
Okay. What about mental health? When you hear that, what do you think about it?
I think about how people don't consider mental health how they should. Yeah, I think about lack of mental health.
I see.
Yeah.
See. Now let me ask you this in terms of that. So today we're going to talk a little bit about dealing with like depression, anxiety, like maybe some things that you've done in your journeys, and I'll talk to you about a little bit what I've learned since I started doing my channel and some of my own journeys too. But in terms of a question for you, do you think that mental health and feet can like connect in any type of way? Do you see a correlation?
Mental health and feet. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I feel that, well, for my mental health, I need to also have a health body and health. I have to be at a healthy physical state.
Yeah.
And for that, I need my feet.
Absolutely.
So that's how I connect these.
Okay. Cool,
yeah.
Cool. So, and I just wanted to ask you that right now, so that later on when I ask you, I want to see if you saw the same correlation or if it changes a little bit for you. Okay?
All right. Yeah.
Cool. And then reflexology, you familiar with that?
Reflexology, I don't know if I'm familiar with that.
Okay.
Is it related to reflexing, like reflexation and
You're
thoughts?
Really close.
Okay.
You're really close. So I'm gonna give you information today, and then you'll see how all the subjects correlate once we get to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Sound good? All right, let's start with the first question. In terms of something you think we could do right now, what is something you think we can do to like improve mental health awareness throughout the world?
Start caring.
Okay.
Start thinking positively about it and not as an issue or as a burden or as a problem.
Yeah.
And making sure that the ones that are around us are the ones that are gonna help us with the issue if we have it around us instead of bringing us down and dragging us down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I think we saw a lot of that during quarantine, right? A lot
Tell
of
me
people
about
who
it.
were like, you know, I guess a lot of people who are like used to being around people because we're meant to be around people, right?
Yeah.
It's not something that we're meant to be alone.
Exactly.
Although there are some people who prefer to, you know, do it alone. That's fine.
Yeah, I was always a lonely, but at the same time, after COVID, my anxiety and social, I think the definition of being social changed a lot for me. Because before COVID, I was like a loner and I would prefer to be by myself. But then
you take it for granted.
Yeah,
You can talk to other
exactly.
people and stuff
Exactly.
like that. Absolutely.
Absolutely. It completely changed for me. I started to understand how people are important in my life and the right people also.
Absolutely. Me as well, because like in the past, I haven't been somebody who was like open to talking to people I don't know.
Yeah.
So by me starting this channel was a way for me. There's multiple reasons why I started it, but that was a way for me to start talking to different people, and I've created some different networking and things like by doing this. So it's been really cool for me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next question. Fill in the blank on this question. The world would be better if.
We loved more.
We love more. Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I get that a lot where people are like, man, and I think sometimes we think that we're doing it, right? But love is something that should come unconditionally, right? You don't judge, you don't like, I think a lot of times we tend to, and I was talking to a group of ladies actually last weekend, and we were talking about the fact that a lot of times we judge people and we don't even realize we're doing it. Because like sometimes when we're in our inner circles and stuff, we talk about things and we put other people down like, yeah, this is like this and that's like this and I would never this and like that. But then it's like when you sit back and you think about it, you're like, damn, why am I judging somebody else and what they're doing? Like I feel like As long as that person's
Absolutely.
not hurting anybody, whatever, like,
Yeah.
they're free to live their life the way that they want to, right?
Yeah, that's why I like kids so much, because kids can be annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but the kids are so pure, and all they have to give is love. And then once time passes and society kind of comes into your life, and society patterns come in, then everything changes, and those kids, they kind of like, they lack love the way they used to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's,
and I think when a kid, and I think the same thing can be said for animals too. When they love you, like, it's like, you know it. And it's like, they don't do that with everybody, but absolutely.
Yeah,
that's a good
absolutely.
one.
Yeah, no, animals, same thing. I think they both give us the same type of like hormones, which is the serotonin. And it's like kid serotonin, animal serotonin, sun serotonin, people serotonin. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. In terms of if a friend or loved one was like dealing with like stress, anxiety, depression, anything like that, is there anything that maybe you would say or do with them to like maybe help them get through that time?
Just be there.
Okay.
Not try anything, not force anything. Understand that sometimes I love therapy, and it always worked for me, but it doesn't work for everyone.
Not for everybody,
I love, I had my moments with medication. It doesn't work for everyone. It doesn't work for me now, you know. So I feel that just being there and asking them what they need and what they want me to do, what's better for them, just being there for them, and just knowing that I'm there.
Absolutely.
Nothing more, you know.
Yeah. You know, one of the things one lady shared with me, I want to share. I've been trying to share this as much as I can with people. She mentioned to me, she said her group of friends, her network, they have like an emoji that they send out to each other, like if they're having a bad day or something like that. And basically when they send that emoji, they don't have to say anything. It's just letting you know, like,
absolutely,
I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
Right? So and then everybody tends to go over and like be with that person and like, hey, we don't have to say nothing, we don't have to do nothing, but like, I'm here for you and supporting you. I thought that was dope, so I shared that with my girlfriend, and so now we're doing the same thing. I thought that was really dope. When she said that, I was like, that's very creative.
That is actually amazing, because now that you mentioned that, my mom, I'm from Brazil. I live here now. I'm married and all of that. I have a family here, but my mom is from Brazil. I was born in Brazil, and sometimes we want to communicate with each other. She wants to talk to me, and we talk to her, but there are stressful days, and we created a code through emoji.
That is dope.
So when we don't want to talk, we send a certain emoji, and then when we do want to talk, but we have to talk later, we send a different kind of emoji.
That is dope.
That's great. Yeah,
that's really lovely. I love hearing that, because it lets me know that even if you're not ready to communicate like verbally or like you can like find a way to just like, hey, this is how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And I'm okay. You can also like put the other person's mind in peace.
Exactly.
Because they're aware that, okay, not right now, but eventually when I'm ready.
Absolutely.
So,
that's really dope. That's really dope. In terms of like anxiety, right? Is there anything that brings you anxiety? And you don't have to go too in depth with this question. It could be a surface level answer. But is there anything that brings you anxiety? And then like, when you feel like you're feeling anxiety, do you have anything you do to like counteract how you're feeling in the moment?
Yeah, I have a hard time with anxiety. I do know exactly which are the things that give me anxiety. The unknown gives me anxiety. Not knowing what's next, not knowing what's coming next or when it's coming. At my certain moment in my life right now, the certain moment in my life, I'm waiting for things that I know that are coming, but I don't know when.
You don't know when.
I don't know when.
It's
I don't know.
Waiting game, right?
Yeah, they might come tomorrow or in a month. So I'm like, oh my God. And I think the way I cope with it is going out, seeing people. That's kind of what I did today. I came out here, came to the park because I was doing some work at my apartment, and it was kind of dark there, and I was in front of the computer, and I was like, I think it's time for me to go out for a bit. And then I do have a big issue with anxiety coping, which is I pick my skin a lot. So when I do that, I keep reminding myself, I do have people that help me. My husband is really great at that. He's like, he holds my hand and he's like, nope,
let me take
come here. Exactly. Come here. Let's do this. Let's do that. But I also exercise. I make sure that I talk to the ones I love. So usually when I have anxiety, I talk to my mom and try to like talk to my grandpa, like all these people. And Yeah, I have kind of like ways out, but sometimes I can't get out of it.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like you're just there and you're like, you gotta kind of ride it out and just wait for it to go away.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Sometimes the best way is just like if I stay in my bed and just cover me up and just
Very much.
watch a Netflix show
There you
and
go.
fall asleep, and that's what
Absolutely.
I can do. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the things I learned since I started this, I don't know if you've ever heard of the grounding technique.
No.
Heard of that before?
Mm-mm.
So it's for people like, so for me, like I tend to like have trouble with crowds, like large crowds, like
Mm-hmm.
really freak me out. So one of the things that somebody talked to me about was basically like when you're out and you're feeling like that, what you start to do is focus on the things that are around you. So like smells, sights, like different things.
Nice.
Like you start to focus more on that, and so what it does is it starts to calm you down because now you're not thinking so much about like what the problem is.
Yeah.
You start focusing more on those things, and so
Yeah.
like, that's helped me out a lot. So when I go out and I start to feel like that, I'm like, oh, you know, that sign over there is blue. You know, I smell like
Yeah,
this over here,
absolutely.
like, and it like starts to like help me calm down because now I'm not thinking
Yeah.
about the apparent problem. Absolutely.
I think I heard of that before. I just
yeah.
didn't know it called the grounding
Grounding technique.
technique. Yeah, but absolutely, like that's a thing that we use for acting a lot.
That's right.
When you're just like in front of a crowd or
Yep.
you're in the theater, I mean, you all of your attention needs to be on somebody else, not on you.
Yeah.
So they say just put all of your attention on your partner, and if you don't have a partner, put all of your attention on your objective
There
as
you
a
go.
character. So it's kind of like grounding and just like putting attention somewhere else but on yourself.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's
dope.
really nice.
In terms of, let's say somebody came to you and they were like, I'm gonna give you the power to change something about yourself, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be something physical. It could be like maybe a behavior you have, right?
Okay.
Is there anything you would change?
I think I would like to be more. I think I would like to trust people more.
Trust me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. People say that I'm very trusting. That people say that they can trust on me. They can rely on me a
You're
lot.
reliable. Okay.
I'm reliable,
Okay.
not trusting. People say that I'm very reliable, but I have a lack of trust a lot of
Oh.
times that I should trust people.
And I'm imagining it could be from something that happened in the past or something like that.
Probably.
Maybe you've had experiences with people.
Yeah, probably past issues
Past
like
trauma
family.
usually creates
Yeah,
that. Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah.
I know how that feels. Definitely. Sometimes we can carry some of that into our other relationships with other people. And
Oh,
it's like,
absolutely.
that person might have the best intentions, but it's just like I haven't dealt with that trauma yet, so I can't really deal with that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I try to like always getting out of it through communication
Yeah.
with everyone, and sometimes the communication takes a minute to come out. So a lot of times I get very upset with the people in my life, and I only let them know that I'm upset days after.
Oh, wow.
So they're like, "Wow, how was I supposed to know?"
Maybe start sending those emojis to them.
Yeah, maybe I should start sending those emojis.
Say, hey,
Exactly.
listen, if I send you this emoji, it means
It means
I'm not feeling it.
yeah, that's actually a really good, I never
Absolutely.
thought of that.
I mean, because that way, because like you kind of already doing it with your mom and stuff, so maybe you have something separate for
Yeah,
friends and stuff like that.
exactly.
That way
Yeah.
they know, like, hey, just right now, it's not a good time for me.
Yeah,
We'll talk
absolutely.
later.
Absolutely. That's good. I never thought of it. Maybe I
Yeah.
should try it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In terms of this next question, fill in the blank on this question, okay?
Mhm.
When I think about my feet, I feel.
Settling.
Settling. Okay.
Yeah.
Why
I feel
settling?
settled
Okay, why settling?
because I feel that feet, when I think about feet
Okay.
physically,
Yeah.
every time I'm on my feet, I feel grounded enough to be connected with the earth
Yep.
and everything. I feel in control.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in control of the situation,
Okay.
but in control over me.
I like that.
So it's very settling for me.
Okay.
And I like to be settled. I don't love that everything is settling. I mean, not everything is settling. But I just, sometimes I don't enjoy some settlements, but
Okay.
the fact that it's coming from me,
Yeah.
because it's my feet,
Absolutely.
then I feel settled.
That's dope.
Does that make sense?
No, listen, and that's why I asked. Like everybody gets their chance to say what they feel. So I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: have you ever received compliments about your feet? Has anybody ever said to you, "Hey, I think you have nice feet"? That ever happened to you?
No, I don't think so. Maybe in the past, but no,
Okay.
I don't think so. Like, not that I recall.
Okay. Let's say rare occasion you're wearing sandals or open toe shoes. Somebody did give you that compliment.
Hmm.
How would it make you feel?
weird.
Weird.
It would make me feel weird.
So why weird?
I don't know. I think it's a part of the body that, unfortunately, because of like taboos, societal taboos and all of that, it can make the person feel very uncomfortable. Like my first question or my first answer for you was like,
You said fetishes.
Fetishes, like weird fetishes. But then I wouldn't know how to feel depending on how you would ask me the question and what would come next.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, usually when people compliment you, they go like, nice hair, nice face, nice.
That's a great point.
Nice smile.
That, right? So,
Yeah.
because I always challenge back with this, right?
Yeah.
When somebody does say that to you, like nice hair,
Yeah.
like your eyes, like your makeup's great or something like
Yeah.
that, that doesn't feel different to you. And the reason why is because those are more social norms, right?
Yeah, I think
something
so.
to you that's not a social norm makes
Yeah.
you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But my thing is, if it's a social norm and it's not you, it's not like naturally how you would feel, but you're just going based on what society thinks. Why is it that way?
I
Because
think.
like a compliment to me, right?
Yeah.
I think compliments are designed to make us feel good, right?
Yeah.
And I think as long as the context,
Yeah.
the context is good. Like if somebody just says to you, "Hey, I think you have nice feet," and they kept walking, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing else said.
Yeah.
Why would that be something that would be considered to be weird?
Yeah, I agree. I think I understand your question. That's what I meant. Not I agree. I think there are steps after
Okay.
a compliment. Every time I receive a compliment, I go through like steps.
Okay.
So the first step is just like being shocked that the person, especially if it's
That
a
they're even
stranger,
saying something to
that they're
you.
even saying, especially if
Got
it's a stranger. If it's someone that like I know already, maybe it's like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you, and it's something that I don't even reflect about.
Yeah.
But if it's a stranger, I think about why they're saying that. And then after that, it's like, oh, I agree with them or not.
Are you like, well,
I don't.
do I agree with
Do
that?
I? Yeah. It's like, oh, you have a great smile. Do I have a great smile?
Oh.
Oh, I think I do have a great smile. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And then I kind of like, if I agree with them, usually I will let go. If I don't agree with them, then I don't think I will let go. So I think that's probably how I feel about my feet.
Interesting.
I'll be like, my feet are like smelly. That's how I think of them. So why would you compliment something in my body that is in the bottom, like, you know?
So I would ask this though, but your feet are not always smelly, right? You take showers.
Right, that's true.
We go get pedicures,
Yeah.
things like that. Like there
Yeah.
are things that we do to like make our feet look good or like, you know,
Uh-huh.
the upkeep, right?
Yeah.
So why do we just focus on the negative side of it and not the positive side?
I think we all have this tendency. Human beings have the tendency of like, everybody tells me that I'm a very self-critical, and I mean,
And it's
I
all
think
good. Like I asked the question. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to get the thoughts going in your head. Like
Absolutely.
Why do I ask this? Like why do I think like that?
we're
Absolutely.
reflecting together.
Absolutely.
You're kind of like being my therapist today. That's crazy.
Absolutely. So, in terms of the next question, in terms of compliments you receive from men and women,
Mm-hmm.
do you prefer to receive the compliments from one group over the other?
In the past, I'm gonna say I would prefer to receive only women's compliments.
I see.
Just because I would feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't know what intention a man would have.
with that,
But nowadays, every compliment that I receive,
yeah.
it doesn't matter from who it comes.
I see.
I try to take
embrace
it. I try to embrace it.
That's dope.
Yeah, that is a thing that I've been working on for the past like 5 years of my life.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to kind of what you said earlier, right? Like a lot of times you're not as trusting, so that's kind of a way for you to like
Absolutely,
trust
to
people a
like
little bit more, like
put a
okay,
wall.
Like he gave me a compliment.
Yeah.
Cool. Like
Uh-huh.
as long as nothing crazy is happening, we're not saying
Yeah.
that, we're good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In terms of the compliments you receive throughout your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you might not be able to think back on every last one, but was there a certain compliment that when you got it from somebody, you like, that made my day, it made me feel good?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. What was it for you?
It was a physical compliment,
Okay.
and
Was it
they
something your husband
said,
said, I'm imagining?
"Yeah, what'd you say?"
Was it something your husband said, I'm imagining?
No, it's not. It wasn't. That's funny.
Uh-oh.
But it wasn't. But it was something that he knows, and he knows that he
Okay.
has to tell me once in a while.
Okay.
But he doesn't. I don't know if he's lying or not. I am obsessed with the singer Taylor Swift, and some people came to me like once or twice in my life.
Okay.
One thing, we were in Vegas on my birthday,
Uh-huh.
and somebody literally got to me, and it wasn't even like set up. I thought my friends had set it up.
Yeah.
And they said no, because I had the bangs and the hair exactly like Taylor Swift.
I
I was more
see.
blonde. And they went to me and they're like, "You look like Taylor Swift."
Oh,
and
that's
I'm like,
dope.
"Ooh," like it made my entire month, I
You're
think.
like,
You're
For
like,
sure.
no,
Now,
I'm
be
like,
her body double.
I'm like, I'm like, you're probably lying, and they're just like, no, I'm genuinely telling you that.
I love that.
And it was like on an occasion, a very special occasion.
Yeah.
I was in Vegas with my friends, with my husband. I was just like, at the
That's
time he
dope.
was my boyfriend, but
Yeah.
anyways, and it was like, it was very, very interesting.
That's really
yeah,
dope.
yeah, yeah.
That's really dope. Let me ask you this: how often do you get pedicures?
Not often at all.
Not often.
Not
at all.
often at all.
And is it because I've heard from some people, like, in terms of the importance on that, right? They don't place an importance on that.
Uh-huh.
It's more like, yeah, I could kind of do it myself. I don't really need to pay money for it. Is it more along the lines of that, or?
Well, with me, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But weird or oddly, I don't know why, in a bunch of people in my life, for a bunch of people in my life, getting pedicures is really important.
It's a normal thing. Yeah.
It's a normal thing. It's something that they do it weekly or like each 15 days. A lot of people that I know, like maybe more than 50% of the people that I know.
Yeah. I think it comes down to this, because this is what I've heard from quite a few. It's like the self-care portion and feeling like it's a way for you to be pampered, right?
Exactly.
Having somebody take care of you, and you kind of feel like, I guess, that enjoyment from that. Like, it's like an enjoyable thing to like be able to like de-stress and things like that. So I think a lot of people feel that from it. So
yeah,
absolutely.
I do have my things too, like when I get my eyebrows done, it's the same feeling. It's like, oh my God, it feels so good. So it's probably the same thing for them.
Absolutely.
But I was always a person that, because for me, every time I think of pedicure, I think of like nail polish and leaving my feet kind of like super girly. And I was never like, I don't use nail polish. I never wear it. My nails are like, I play instruments, so like they're so,
like, there's no need.
There's no need.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing with makeup for me. Like, I don't wear makeup. It's not a thing that I think of.
Absolutely.
You know, so I just think for me, it's not even that deep that I don't get a pedicure.
So here's something great for you. Have you ever heard of a medical pedicure before? I'm pretty sure maybe you
Oh,
have.
yes, I have. I used to go back in Brazil when I was still there.
And it's interesting because I had a lady who first gave me that information. She was actually from Mexico.
Yes.
And she was like, I do not go get like the cosmetic kind. I go medical.
Medical.
Because they take care of everything.
They take care of everything.
It's
so
good.
good.
You can get, right?
So good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So and just, I always talk about it on my channel. What was your experiences like going to somebody like that who could like tell you more about like the health of your feet? And,
Absolutely.
like, help you with that?
I think it was like, I used to love going to her actually.
Okay.
Because I never liked people. That's something that I never thought before. Sorry, like earlier, while I was talking to you. I never liked people touching my feet when it comes to like trimming my nails or just like doing like a massage on my feet. I never liked it.
Are you ticklish?
I'm ticklish. I'm ticklish, and I don't like you touching my nails. Only me or my toenails.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know why. And I never understood that. But then from the very first time I went to this lady, she changed my life in every aspect. Like, I think I would go once a month before I moved here.
That's dope.
And she would just like make my feet look amazing.
Yeah, some people have that magic touch, man.
Absolutely.
The right things to do.
Absolutely. I would just let her touch it. I would let her like make sure that my feet peel a lot for some reason, health issues, I think. And then she would just like make sure that it all went away. It was really good.
Yeah, there's actually people who you can go see, like, so like here too, you can go see like a podiatrist.
Oh yeah.
What they'll do is they'll give you information. So like if you say like you do get some peeling there, it may just be like switching to a certain lotion that may help.
Maybe.
Out with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like all of our bodies are made differently, the chemicals and stuff. So
You're
like
right.
they can kind of tell you about like what's the right one to use for that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're right.
Absolutely.
I never looked at any like medical
Since you've been
pedicure since I've been here.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I will. Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of open toe shoes, how often do you wear like open toe shoes, sandals, flip flops, things like that?
I love flip flops.
Okay.
I do not like. I love being barefoot, but not at home for some reason.
I think I know why.
Because it's dirty. No.
Well, no, because like, so what I've heard from most like Latin households is that like they're usually taught like not to be barefoot.
Not to be
due the
barefoot.
fact You get sick. You can like
Exactly.
get sickness. So yeah,
That's
I've
it.
been hearing that quite often when I go out. They're like, yeah,
That's it.
no barefoot.
No barefoot. And
Absolutely.
it's such an opposite thing here
Yeah,
because people
yeah.
want you to take off your shoes to get into their houses. Like in
Yeah.
Canada, that's kind of like that.
I had a rule in my apartment, like you couldn't walk in just because like I heard different things about like how you can track things from outside into your house.
Into
So
your
when
house,
people
absolutely.
walking all over the place. So for
Yeah.
me, it was always like, yeah, no, I need you to take your shoes off.
Yeah, no,
I'm at the door.
absolutely.
Yeah, my auntie actually, I got that from her because she would have like the little plastic
Yeah.
footy things you could put on. She's like, hey, you can just put these on. You can walk around all you want, but you cannot walk on my carpet and stuff with your shoes on. So
No, my husband and I, we can like fight the whole day about that.
yeah.
He's like, do not come into our room with your shoes. And I'm like, but it's so quick. I just gotta get something.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's, I think it's just culture and
Yeah.
like culturally
That's
we're
usually what I hear. That's
raised,
usually what I hear.
yeah, different.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So you kind of went into my next question a little bit. You've been kind of doing that a little bit, but it's all good. I love that.
Oh,
when people
sorry.
do that. In terms of going barefoot, how often do you do that?
Yeah, so not at home
Yeah.
that much. I like to be barefoot.
nature.
Yeah, in nature.
Yeah.
So either grass or sand.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to like walking on the floor, paved concrete.
Interesting.
I'm allergic to that. Like my
Interesting.
feet is gonna like peel a lot if I did that.
Interesting.
So I don't do. I avoid that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You always can find me with like flip flops everywhere I go. Sometimes I want to
Yeah.
go to parties with flip flops.
Interesting. So you've heard of barefoot and grounding, like that's
Yeah.
very earthing and grounding. That's familiar to you.
Yeah, that's familiar
Absolutely.
to me.
Yeah, so I try to go out and give that information because not a lot of people know about that. Like,
Yeah.
just like something natural you can do. Like
So
if
good.
you had a long day at work, going out, standing in some grass, you can go to the beach. stand in some
Absolutely.
sand, and just like
So
the
good.
de-stressing thing that it does for you in terms of like helping you like unclog that mental space.
Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah,
a great thing.
statically, if you get like staticky clothes,
Yeah.
also it's really good for you to just like walk around. Every time like I put my things on the, not, I was gonna say dryer. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know why. Sometimes like when I don't have the dry sheets,
Yeah.
they get all staticky,
Yeah,
and then I
yeah,
just
yeah.
walk around with them and they go away. The staticky go away. It's really
Learn
nice.
something new.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
all right. So now in this moment right now, can we see what your feet look like?
Oh yeah,
All right. cool.
sure.
And let me ask you this: what size shoe do you wear?
8 or 9. I don't know.
So it kinda
Sometimes
varies depending on
it
the type of
varies.
shoe that you
I think I would say like
Absolutely.
I would.
Do you want to use this just so because I know that you kind of got to address on other ones.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it depends. I think like for boots,
Okay.
it's 9.
so
And
if it's a
for
little bit of a because like boots tend to be like a
yeah,
little bit more tight, so you gotta
Exactly.
go up with size on
yeah,
that. Okay.
exactly.
Absolutely. All
Do you
right.
want both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You can. All right.
I'll
It looks
do
like
that.
your toes. Because I'm gonna kind of tell you about like your toe alignment and stuff. I don't know if you've heard about the
No.
different toe alignments there are, but it looks
No.
like your toes go from big to small, right? Is it kind of like?
Oh
a line?
yeah. It's
Okay.
it's a line. It's a
Absolutely, like that little curve, right?
yeah.
So that's called the Egyptian toe alignment. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Yeah, if second toe is longer, it's called the Grecian. It's like a Greek toe.
Oh,
what you have
that's
is the
kind of what
Egyptian.
happens here.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right.
Huh.
So if I can, let me have you do this, like straight out. Okay. All right. So let me ask you this: how are you feeling? Like we're kind of going through. We went through some questions. Asked you a little bit. Now we're looking at your feet. What's your thoughts?
The questions are nice. The feet is a little like uncomfortable for me.
I love that. Okay.
Just cause I don't know. I feel that I'm low key since I'm showing off. Cause one thing is just like be barefoot
You're barefoot already. Yeah.
by myself when I'm just like. But when it comes to like, oh, let me see your feet. I think
Okay.
that like it's putting it on the spot.
Okay.
I don't feel uncomfortable with being on the spot, but maybe putting like certain parts of my body on the spot. Maybe it's like,
Okay.
or like this is a part of my body.
Okay. So I'm glad that you said that. So like I want to share like the mental health with you. Why I got started with my channel, right?
Okay.
Hopefully it's gonna connect and make sense now.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, have you ever heard of exposure therapy?
No,
Familiar?
no.
Okay. So exposure therapy is for people like you tend to feel uncomfortable in certain situations or scenarios, right?
Uh-huh.
You may even be somebody who like you tend to stay in your comfort zone. Like when you experience like things that are new, you're like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times we do that because we don't know what's on the other side. Like when we don't know,
Yeah.
we tend to question and well, I don't know, and we
Yeah.
tend to like avoid, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm an overthinker. I tend to
Mhm.
be in like my whole life. Like,
Mhm.
do I go to the movies? I don't know. Like I And before I know it, like, movie done already went past and it's too late, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to get better at making more snap decisions. So I feel like not every decision is something that requires me to think so much, right?
Ah, okay.
So like,
Yeah.
I wanted to start. So I started putting that into practice. So then I had the idea. I was like, during quarantine, a lot of women were getting into football, and that was a thing, right?
Uh-huh.
I had the idea to take exposure therapy with like meeting just women like in general. I'm going out, we're asking these questions, and then I kind of put you on the spot with asking you that, right?
Yeah.
And so what I do is I get people who are like completely open, and they're just like they're not having thoughts about that, right?
Yeah.
They tend to be more open-minded.
Yeah.
Some people will tend to start to think like, I'm not really sure, like what's
Yeah.
happening here, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
some people
they
are
got
like,
like-
nah, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
But the whole point of my channel is to show those reactions because basically that's what life is made of, right?
Yeah.
We all have our opinions, we all have the way that we want, but
Yeah.
to basically show that like through my interactions that like it can be some people who are open to it.
Yeah.
There are people who are like maybe they do get out of their comfort zone. Some people may never get out of their comfort zone. And so we try to test that
Yeah.
to see, can you be comfortable or do you get to the point where you're like, nah, I'm good, I'm uncomfortable. So that's the
Yeah.
whole point of my channel. Because basically what I'm trying to show is, like I said, through my interactions, when I come up, I approach you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anxiety there because in terms
Oh,
of,
yeah.
like, I don't know what's going to be said. I don't know
Yeah.
how somebody's going to take
Yeah.
it, whatever like that. So, like, it's like anxiety for me on that end.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you feel anxiety when I ask that question because you're like,
You're
well,
like, what
why?
is
So
this?
I'm trying to see
Yeah.
if we can both get out of that comfort zone and see how we feel like
Yeah.
as the interview goes along.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. So what
Yeah.
are your thoughts kind of about my channel, what I'm doing? Like, how do you feel about that?
I think that's great. I think a lot of people. I think the world's going to grow a lot. I don't know if it would necessarily be a better place, but I think growth is essential and fundamental for every person.
Yeah.
And I think the world's going to grow a lot if people start getting out of the comfort zones.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's something that like people should be way more open-minded. People forget that it's the 21st century. A lot of people, and I understand that like they have their own cultures and they have their own ways that they were raised and all of that. But I think fitting in is a way of acceptance.
Yep.
And
I always tell people about the LGBTQ plus community, right? Because for me, like growing up, I can remember there being like, you didn't really talk about that. That was like something that was never mentioned, right?
exactly.
Whereas now we got Pride Month, we have things that are like for that, but it's because people spoke up and like be
Yeah.
more open-minded, right?
Of
And
course.
so that's kind of what my channel is trying to do. I'm trying to like normalize the conversation because, like you kind of said, the first thing you thought about when I asked you about feet, you said fetishes. You
Absolutely.
didn't talk about like self-care. You didn't talk about massages. You went straight to like fetishes. And so it's like trying to get people to think more on the positive side. Like think more about self-care. Think more about massages because that stuff is also a part of like
Absolutely.
your foot health and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about reflexology. Now that you got out of here, I know you probably ready to get home.
Oh no, you're fine. Don't worry.
So reflexology is all about those different like pressure points you have in your hands and in your feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those pressure points actually like they connect to different parts of your body. So, for example, like if you go get a massage, you do acupuncture, you do acupressure, you actually can alleviate like stress and tension to like various parts of your body. So,
Right.
let's say for example you're somebody who deals with migraines, right? There's actually a portion of your like hands and feet to massage that alleviates the tension that you feel in those moments when you're having a migraine.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about that? Because that's something that can be helpful from a more holistic standpoint. You think that's a good thing, a bad thing? How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I'd never tried, but I heard only positive things about it. And some people are just like, "Oh, I'm terrified of needles," which is funny because they're like, but that is not necessarily.
Yeah.
That's not even the point here.
Exactly.
And I know that there are other ways for you to do. How do you pronounce it? Acupuncture. Acupuncture.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so there are all of like other. There are other
They
ways.
have, like, cupping now. You
Yeah,
can
they have
in.
cupping, exactly. Cupping is something that actually, I was dating a guy once and he used to do cupping and he did it a little bit on me and it was like, oh, that feels good.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was a good thing.
Exactly,
before.
those de-stressors. So I try to go out and give information about that because
Yeah.
a lot of times people don't know how easy it is. Just like that's something natural you can do. Like you have a partner or something like
Yeah.
that, or you go pay to have somebody to do it. It can
Yeah.
definitely help you out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being said, usually we get to reflexology. We like to talk about sensitivity. Now you already kind of told us a little bit. You've gotten pedicures in the past, or when people touch your feet, very sensitive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They're sensitive.
What would you say the level is on that? Like if you gave it a level.
A level of sensitivity?
Yeah.
I would say 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have a trick for you. Do you mind if we test it? I have a tool to use.
Yeah.
I'm gonna test it out so I can show you what the trick is. Is that cool?
Okay, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it on both feet. We're going to go from bottom to top. I want you to tell me where you feel it at, and then tell me where is it most sensitive at, which foot is most sensitive.
Okay.
And then after we do it, the first time, I'm going to show you what the trick is. Sound good?
Okay, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Here we go. All right, so put your feet back out straight. Cool. All right.
Like
so,
here?
No, like just like
Oh,
this.
like that.
Yep. So we're going to start with your right. Tell me where you feel it at the most, then we'll go to left, and then tell me where you feel that at, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. It's sensitive immediately. You felt it
Immediately.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's try your left. You tell me if you feel it more on this one. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Try to hold, relax. Try to relax. All right.
Immediately as well.
Immediately.
Yeah.
So here's what I want you to do. Because first of all, where you feel it at the moment, I didn't really get a chance to go from all the way through. But let me try it. Let me try it down here.
This one already like.
Is it right in the middle? Like your arch
I
area?
think more in the middle. I think here less.
Okay.
Here way
less?
more. Here
Okay.
probably is a 10.
Okay.
Here is like a 7.
Okay.
And here is like a 9, I would say.
I got you. So here's what I want you to do. All I'm doing is wiggle your toes. Just wiggle your toes.
Just
do
wiggle
this.
like that?
Oh, just move. So move your toes.
Oh,
like this.
wiggle
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so put them back up straight though, and then just wiggle, and then
Oh.
feel it more or less.
Less.
You know why?
No.
Here? You know why?
Because it's blood flowing. I don't know.
So here's the thing, right? So your mind connects to every part of your body. It's like you send signals to your body every day. Do this, do that. That's almost like a distraction for you in a way because it's like now you're not so focused on what's happening, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, because you move your feet, you wiggle like this, you move the energy. So when somebody's like, if you go get a pedicure, they're doing that pumice stone thing or whatever, and it's like really sensitive, wiggle your toes a little bit. You can even wiggle your fingers when you're doing it too, and you'll feel it even less. Absolutely.
That's interesting.
So that's a trick for you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Good.
So last thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna have you do a couple exercises with your feet. This is to test like dexterity, flexibility you have in your feet. Okay. So put your feet back straight like this. What I want you to do first, bend your toes, make a fist. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Just bend them over.
Just.
Yeah, just bend your toes straight over.
Yeah, like here.
Is that easy to do or is that hard to do?
It's easy.
You don't feel any pain, right?
No.
Okay, relax. Next, let me have you spread your toes. You tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Is that easy? So it's a little bit harder to do that one.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, relax.
It's a little harder, but it doesn't feel any pain.
Got it. Now just wiggle for about 10 seconds. I want you to tell me if you feel pain or discomfort after a while. Because usually when people do it for a while, they'll start to feel some cramping or something. So just wiggle. Easy to do, hard to do.
It's in middle ground. It's like
So it's a little bit hard
5.
because you have to actively think about
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do it like my hands, you know?
Yeah, this is probably a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It's like, but we don't tend to like stretch these muscles out a lot because a lot of times we're just like going about our business. We walk, we do all this stuff. But it's very important to stretch those muscles in your feet because like those muscles actually connect to other parts of like your legs, things like that. So it's very beneficial. Okay. I have one more thing for you to do because this is an opportunity for you to do some stretching with this.
Nice.
Something easy that you can do at home. So golf ball. I'm sorry, tennis ball. So what you do is in the mornings, if you roll your foot across this, and here I'm gonna have you try it a little bit.
Nice.
Roll your foot across it. Tell me what you're feeling. So try to get the full motion. You want it to go from front to back.
Like here.
How does that feel?
That feels good.
That feels good.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
Now try left. Now I'm gonna have you try a golf ball, and I want you to tell me is that one? Do you feel that one more or less? Feels good, right?
Yeah, it feels good.
Okay.
But I do prefer to do this one and this one.
Okay, so on that one, it feels good on your right. Are you
on my right. I am. I'm right-handed.
So it's your dominant foot. Okay.
Yeah.
So try this one. You should probably feel a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel more. Oh, absolutely.
Deeper areas, right?
Yeah, the
and
grass
if you do it
doesn't
on this
let
one,
me.
you should feel it like kind of going through.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
This
yeah.
is something you could do at home because like you have a lot of tendons and muscle groups in your feet that you don't normally use. And so if you do this at home, and these are cheap, you can go buy like a pack of these, like it's like a 3-pack for like $2. You can buy golf balls for like maybe like $4 or $5, but like you can have it for life and just literally do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't play golf, so that'd be great. Yeah.
So let's wrap up the interview now. In terms of my approach, first of all, when I came up to you and I was like, hey, you down to do the interview, did you feel my approach was good? Was it bad? How'd you feel about it?
No, it was pretty a good approach. That's why I said yes. Otherwise, if I felt like I'm a very energetic person, if I don't feel that the person has, I don't know, not necessarily good intentions because you never know, but if I feel a off energy,
the energy is off.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
then I don't think I would, because I was literally leaving, so I could say,
you, man,
of course, no, you're fine. I don't have anything like to do.
Okay.
I was just like leaving because I was leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. And then when you said, oh yeah, I'm doing this about mental health, and then I heard women, and then you said feet, and I was like, I probably heard it wrong. I probably heard it wrong,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's gonna repeat that. But then he said it, and I was like, okay, it must have a reason why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
And
know?
so I try to get these, if you notice how the interview, well, that's my next question, but let's get to that. So in terms of the interview, start to finish, right? Could you see how everything was going along in the line? Did it make sense? Did
Yeah,
you
it
learn
did.
anything new?
No, it did. It did. I was confused at first with the feet.
Yes.
With the feet part, because I was
get
like,
that all the time.
yeah, I'm
And so
pretty
what,
sure
you
you
know
do.
what I usually get, and this
Yeah.
is why I always start off with feet first. If you know
Yeah.
when I came up,
Uh-huh.
I said feet, mental health, reflexology.
There you go.
Because I want you to hear that first, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't want you to think I'm trying to hide it on the back end.
No.
So I say that first.
Yeah.
So a lot of times what I'll get from people is, like, the moment they hear that, they focus on that. And I'm like, I gave you 2 other topics too.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you pay attention, I'm trying to get them all to connect in
Yeah.
a way. But like some people will just focus on that and they're just like, nah, I heard feet.
I
That's all
heard feet. That's all I heard.
That's all I
just
heard.
heard feet, and I came.
Yeah. And so my thing is, I try to get people, because to me, sometimes we make decisions just based off of what we hear or we see immediately. Like, right? We look at somebody, we see that they look like this, and we're like, no, that person may be like this. And a lot of times, that person may be a sweetheart.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually had a situation like that at work where there's this guy that was like full of tattoos. Like, you know, he's like, definitely looks like, definitely was like, I'm like, dude, this dude's a cholo for sure, right? And he ended up getting sent to my department, and I just started like talking to him, and this guy turned out to be like,
super close friends.
He was just like, man, I just want to travel. I want to go see different things. I want to do, and like, I'm just like, that is amazing. And I was like, I even apologized to him. I was like, look, dude, I'm sorry, because I literally judged you before I even had a chance
We
to
all
talk
do
to
that.
you.
We all do that. People are very judgmental. So
Exactly.
that's why I was like, well, let's see what he has.
Let's see how it goes.
And if like, I feel that if we ever get to a point in your life that you can go forward, you just can't go forward. You just stop. You just say, I'm sorry, I just can't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was, and then it was interesting because you said that people usually focus on feet. And that was the only one that I didn't focus.
Yeah.
I said, he probably said feet. Yeah, he probably said feet, but I'm going to focus on mental health and women.
That's dope.
And women's opinions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The last thing I always ask, is there anything you could say to my channel, like, maybe it's something that you've learned in life, maybe it's something that somebody, like, gave you a nugget of wisdom that you can leave with us that could be helpful to other people?
I'm going to say what is, like, based on what's going on in my life right now. And I think that everything happens when it has to happen. Nothing's going to happen in the wrong time, in an off time, even though you really want it.
Yeah.
Even though you know it's going to be the best, you know it's going to change your life.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen if it's not going to happen if it's not the right moment.
That's the truth.
You know, everything has the right moment. And it doesn't make sense at first, but then after you go through it and after life happens, you go, oh, it actually does make sense.
That's why that happened.
That's why that happened now.
Amazing.
That's why that happened now.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And like every little thing that is happening to me right now is pretty much that. Oh, this happened because this was going to happen. And then this, I'm suffering because of this, but I'm going to probably have an answer in the future.
Absolutely.
You know?
Because the life experiences. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you stopping to do this interview.
Absolutely.
With us.
It was a pleasure.
All right. We hope you have a great one, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right.